What up, S&M Hit Squad, and welcome back, guys. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl Mel.
Yes,
Welcome,
guys.
guys.
Here we go. All right, Nolan Wells' black friends break silence on his suspicious death. All right, so they basically saying they warned him. So
this is sad.
The story just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, guys. All right, new details are coming out. People are working around the clock to figure out what happened to this young man. All right, so before we get into it, smash that like button, turn on that notification bell. Let's dive into it. Here we go.
Reporting live from Hypers Club, Fright Plus News, I'm Janaba. As reported on Monday, social media is currently reacting to a now mysterious death of Mississippi teen Nolan Wells. That he would go missing on a remote island on July 4th, in which his body would be found 2 days later on the island shore. At the center of the conversation, many have expressed that race looks to have played a part in the teen's death, given that it appears that Wells was the only black friend amongst a group of white friends whom he traveled to the island by boat with.
Black people, stop going on motherfucking vacation with these white folks. Your white friends call you, say, hey, bud, what's up? Hey, you ain't going on vacation? No. Hell no. Because y'all keep going on them vacations, and they keep coming back home, and we can't find you. You got to tell them white people no right now. Not all of them, but some of them you got to tell them no. I can't swim. Why I'm going out there in the ocean for?
According to reports,
we can't swim. He ain't lying. We cannot swim.
I don't like to be deep out there in the water.
I don't care if you're black, white. I don't care what you are. I'm not going out on that water with you. I can't swim.
I don't care if we in 6 feet. I don't want to go no deeper than that. All right. But it sounds like people are like trying to race bait this thing.
Of course.
Because at the end of the day, let's just put the black and white thing aside and figure out what happened to him.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing people want to jump on. Oh, white, black, the white boy. But the black boy was the only one out there, that was black, and he didn't make it back home. I get it. I understand that. But, they were friends. They all know each other. So let's just put the race card aside for a minute.
They were all drinking. Underage.
They were.
I'm not
they were
sure
basically
if they
partying.
were all underage, but I know Nolan. He is what, 18?
18.
He's underage. He shouldn't have been drinking.
Yeah.
He could have gotten drunk, gone out in the water, drowned.
I mean, so many possibilities.
You never know. So
we just can't jump the gun. On a situation. Let's go.
The group of friends, along with Nolan, would travel to Horn Island, which is the island that sits about 10 miles from mainland Mississippi, to celebrate the 4th of July. Now, while there, the teens, along with others, would enjoy the beach's shore and water. At some point during their time there, an altercation has now been said to have taken place, just before Wells would go missing around 4 p.m. Now, what has raised many people's concerns are, why did Nolan's friends leave without him? And what are the details of the altercation? One user on Facebook, who shared that she was actually docked next to the boat Nolan was on, would go on to note that the altercation took place amongst the friends, and at some point even on the boat they were on. Now, as mentioned, for many, race can't be overlooked, as some would express their lack of trust when it comes with being the only black person in certain settings, and they feel that Wells' disappearance is another example. Now, as people continue to question Nolan's white friends, whom he went to the island with, his black friends and best friend are now responding, explaining why they weren't with him at the time. On Monday, his best friend Javon Williams would join several of their peers at the boat dock, where officials looked to have brought back Wells' body. There, Williams would speak to local outlet Sun Herald to give his reaction to the breaking news. According to Williams, he was supposed to be on the same boat with Wells, but it had got filled up and he rode on a different boat. Williams would go on to confirm that he did see Nolan on the island. As soon as we got out there, he told me that he loved me. Williams would also go on to say that he last saw Wells close to 4 p.m. and according to him, along with others, reports seeing Nolan with a girl while amongst their friends. Williams would also go on to share that he would end up leaving his phone with Wells' phone on the same boat in question, but would later retrieve his phone before going home. Now, outside of Williams' response, another friend by the name of Trace Carter would apparently give Nolan a warning to be safe before going to the island. According to Sun Herald, Carter would tell Wells, "Just hit me up when you get back. Just be careful, bro. Watch out for yourself." And in response, Wells will respond with, "I got you. I'll hit you up later." Now, according to that same report, it was also noted that Wells knew how to swim and had took lessons at a YMCA in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, where he lived, raising more concerns for some that foul play may be involved in his death. Back over on social media, Javon would continue reacting to the suspicious death of his friend. Over on TikTok, he would post a tribute to Nolan that read, "For all the times you accepted my calls, text me, checked up on me, hung out with me, laughed with me, I love you, brother." Followed by a response to one user who would comment, "Devastating," in which Javon would say he didn't deserve this shit. Williams would continue his grieving on his Instagram stories with a compilation video of him and Wells.
So that's what I'm saying.
Now, when it comes,
it's a lot of things that's coming out slowly but surely, and the proof is all in the phones.
To say that he didn't deserve this shit,
like deserve
as if
what?
Someone did something to him,
like it was some foul play.
It feels wrong. It feels like we're not being told something. I don't know.
It just feel like, like a red flag here, red flag, red flag,
Okay, so I thought Nolan couldn't swim, but
apparently he can.
Swim. Okay.
All right, so that's a good thing. Here we go, guys.
To the friends Wells would travel to the island with, they have been identified by social media users. However, it does appear that they have decided to remain quiet on their social pages, which each of them having their Instagram pages on private. Now, upon looking over Wells' Instagram page, this was not the first time he would jump on a boat with friends, as he posted previous adventures of himself on a boat with a similar group of people.
And I'm sorry, but I thought he got on another boat. I didn't realize he was missing. Yeah, that's not sitting right with me, because what do you mean you let your friend just get on a random ass fucking boat? And everybody's in the comments like, "Oh, well, we boat hop. This is normal. Nobody thought to go with them. And if it was 4th of July weekend and people were drinking and you saw that your friend was drinking, may or may not have been drinking, why would you allow him to get on a boat if you weren't with him? And don't get me wrong, I've been on a boat. I know cell service is shit. Most people leave their phone on dry land because, shit be flipping over. But if he was getting on another boat and you knew that there was no other way to contact him, again, why would you not get on the same boat? And it'd be different and all the boats were just docked in one little area and you guys were just swimming and you saw in and out. But again, this just is not sitting right. And then y'all didn't realize he was missing until it was time for you guys to go home. Like, y'all didn't sit here and think, "Oh, well, shit, where is he? Where could he have been? Why is he not back yet? We're taking shots and he's not here to take shots with us. Where's my boy at?" Like, y'all don't sit here and ask these kind of questions. Like, there's a rule. If you came with me, you're leaving with me. Like, I brought you here. I'm taking you home.
No,
I agree with that.
Shit?
Nobody knows what happened to Nolan. Nobody remembers what happened. He went into the woods with a girl and we don't know what happened. So why did y'all leave him? Because I needed to be known that the one fact that we got for sure
he wanted to stay
is they didn't report that baby missing until they got back home. They didn't call when they were getting ready to pack up the boat and come back home and realize, hey, we can't find Nolan. We'll be looking for him for an hour. Come help us find him. They didn't report it until they got back home.
So the same thing that happened to Nolan Wells almost happened to me. I think I was like 22 years old working at Texas Roadhouse. You know what I mean? Young, silly. Forgot a couple of the things that my granddaddy told me when I was growing up. I thought these people were my friends. Another lesson my grandparents taught me when I was younger is that you don't have any friends. You know what I mean? You really do not. Like, my siblings were always my friends, and I learned that. At any rate, I signed up to go on this, little trip with these people. They let us know, okay, so we're gonna get up on the bank right here, and then we're gonna go see the waterfall. So I'm like, oh, okay, so but what we gonna do at the waterfall? You know what I mean? Because I'm vibing, but at the same time, I'm not stupid. And they was like, we're just gonna look at the, sit there, light a fire, smoke some more, drink some more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to the little spot where we pull up the canoes, we anchor them off and whatnot, and then they tell us, okay, so this little piece of water right here, we got to swim across that to get to the waterfall. So I get halfway through the water and I realize that, and I'm losing my strength slowly but surely. And at this point in time, I am calling out for help. No music is playing at this time. You know what I mean? None. Yeah, everybody was rambunctious, excited, whatever, but you could clearly hear me out there in the woods. It's still daylight. So I am screaming that I can't make it. Somebody please help me. They turn around, several of them look at me, say, you can do it, come on, let's go. And they continue to walk off. At this point in time, I have already said my prayers and have already decided that I'm going to meet my maker. I scream one more time, I am going to drown, and I went down. I don't know who, can't remember who it was and what made them decide to change their mind and come back, but one person jumped in that water, grabbed me, pulled me up onto the bank, and mind you, they didn't do anything else after that and continued on their way. As young black children, the same lesson that I'm sure you're telling all your children now: do not be the only one. And it really doesn't matter how people feel about that, because the concern is preservation of life. So for some reason, God saw fit to not allow me to lose my life that day.
Amen.
And for some reason, God called Nolan home. So I will say that despite what anybody feels about how you feel about the situation, please have that conversation with your children. And that's all I'm going to say. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells, and to his entire family.
According to Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter, who would speak when Wells' body was found, the case will be handled like any other cases, with a thorough investigation.
Number one, give the family space and time. They are still processing this tragic event. And all of Nolan's close friends. I'll assure you that the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, we're looking at this whole case just like we would any other case. And we're going to be as thorough as we can.
Now, as far as Nolan's family, they have set up a GoFundMe for all those wanting to show support after Wells' sudden passing. An autopsy has been scheduled to be performed today to help provide more answers. Let's talk about them on the comments below. Now that we've heard from Nolan's other friends, does it leave you with more questions? And what should happen next? Reporting live from Hypers Club for Hype Plus News, I'm Janaba.
All right, good job on covering that. We still like in first quarter of this whole situation. Things gotta unravel, unfold, and figure out some things. Can't jump to too many conclusions. We know that. But we also have, like, in the back of our mind, like, we want the truth. We want everything to be transparent. Because this is a child, he lost his life. His mom and dad are grieving.
Yeah.
And people want answers. He had people that loved him.
Absolutely.
And
a lot of people are out here race baiting. We're not covering this to race bait. We cover all. Like when it was a story, the Carmelo Anthony story, we covered that. And we were not covering it to protect Carmelo Anthony. We go with the facts and the truth, where the truth lies. And this isn't looking too good. Not because they're white.
It's not.
But because of the facts, because of what we see.
Right.
What we're seeing. It just doesn't make sense. You needed a boat to travel to this place.
You definitely want to come back with your friends.
And for, no one to contact the mom or try to figure out where Nolan was, and to leave, to go and have dinner with your families, none of it is making sense. I understand they're saying he was with a little girl, but the girl is claiming that he wasn't.
The girl said he went back with the boys. and
So
them
that's
boys,
right.
you
That's
know.
what I'm trying to figure out. Like the stories aren't adding up. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not saying that, it was like a racial profiling because I do think that these kids were friends. Something went wrong though.
I mean, they had pictures together. Um, you know, they went to school together, and I don't think this is their first time going to Horn Island.
Right.
So they've been there before. They
Yeah.
done it before.
Yes.
This time it's just that a life was lost, and now
Yeah.
everyone is trying to get to the bottom of it, and everyone is rushing to get to the bottom of it, which that's not going to happen.
Hmm.
These things got to play out. The
Yeah.
autopsy, everything got to add up and basically make sense. And I really feel like if they call their self his friends, they should have done more. In my mind, they should
Hmm.
have done more.
Especially if you have the phone.
Right? You have the phone.
I would be mortified if
Right,
I
and it's
had
like
my friend's phone and I know that my friend needed a boat and we left my friend.
everything
I'm
is like
calling that as soon as I get back. I'm calling the police. I'm calling it
right.
like, oh my gosh, we have to go back.
It's like a chain effect type thing. Once you
Yeah,
do something wrong, you got to keep going in that wrong direction. And that's what it seems like. They left him
absolutely.
there. They had the phone. They didn't turn it in. They had to be tracked down. They deleted social media accounts. So many things. Like they going to dinner the next day like nothing happened. They not helping the search team. They didn't get investigated.
If you lose your friend, you wouldn't be able to sleep. Me, I wouldn't have been able to sleep, eat, anything.
It's like,
Like I would be afraid for my friend.
right.
Were they friends?
I can't go along with my everyday life knowing my friend is out there somewhere and we was
Something
just
went
there.
wrong.
I don't care if I gotta go back on a boat to go back to Horn Island to look for him and come back with a flashlight, whatever I gotta do.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do nothing and say, "Oh, you know what? My hands are washed." You know,
Things happen with friends. They could have gotten in an argument, too many drinks. I mean, they're not, Nolan wasn't legally,
right?
able to drink. So he shouldn't have been out there in the first place drinking and partying.
And it's like that contradiction thing. The girl saying, "Oh, he went back with them," and then
Mm-mm.
they're saying, "Oh no, he wanted to stay with her."
That's the part.
That's
That is
that's
what
gonna be the
gives me
break in the
pause.
case. That's gonna be the break in the case. Where did he go? Did he
Yeah.
stay or did he go back on that boat with the guys?
Yeah. What makes me really, the reason why I want to cover this is because it wasn't like he was in a gang, he was out, doing crime. This was, uh, he had a promising future. He was a
Right.
bright young man in college on the basketball team, no, football team,
Football team. He was
on
a
the
football star.
football
Yes.
team, and he was going places. This isn't like someone who was out here terrorizing people, robbing and
Yes.
carjacking and stuff like that. This was a young man who had a promising future, and it's just sad, and everything is looking suspicious. I'm not blaming anyone. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen, but the stories aren't adding up.
Yeah, I mean, he had a bright future. Like you say, mistakes happen. But when they happen, you know, um, step up and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Don't, withhold information and because it's like you're going against helping him.
And the mothers cry.
Right.
Like she's not being ghetto, disrespectful.
I
She's not
mean,
pointing the finger. She just wants answers for her child.
she's in the middle of
The
grieving and
father,
then got to deal with
he
this.
isn't cursing and screaming and being belligerent. These are good people. These are good
They
people.
want answers for their child.
And they deserve answers. If he drowned, they deserve the answer.
I mean, that happens.
It
Things happen.
happens. Yeah.
But no one seen him drown. No one came to his aid.
It's like he's the
No,
only
like
one left
he,
behind.
yeah,
It's
like he
just,
was just, dusting and wind. Like, like what the hell? Come on, man. That's my friend. I seen
yeah,
him go under. I tried to help him.
it's pretty
I
sad.
almost drowned.
Yeah,
Like, give me something to, like, declare yourself. No matter if he's white, black, Asian, it don't matter. It's a human soul.
yeah.
God created all of us.
Yes, amen.
And
Amen.
at the end of the day, it's like, where's the remorse? Like, where's that, like,
That
that
heart.
thing that's in your heart that's like, oh no, we gotta help. Let's just try to do the best thing that we can do. We're innocent, so we don't have anything to hide, right?
If my kid
Right.
took a cell phone of a friend who ended up passing away, oh my Lord Jesus.
What are you doing with the cell phone? And I get it. You had the cell phone, but why not turn it in?
Why not call the mom or the dad and say, hey, we can't find Austin. He left his phone.
And then it's
He
like
stayed behind.
it really like makes sense. Like that cell phone got to be going off with messages or something. You got to see mom calling. This is Nolan mom. Let me go ahead and give it the phone. Matter of fact, I'm gonna answer the phone and say, you know what, I got it. We be looking for him. This, that, and the third. None of that happened.
Poor
So
baby.
I say again, red flags.
Yeah.
Not pointing a finger at no one.
But see, this isn't
But let's just figure it out.
People try to race bait. Stop race baiting. This has nothing to do with skin color. This is a young man who lost his life. He could have drowned, and maybe there was foul play. We're just trying to get to the bottom of what happened so his parents can have peace. You know?
It's either one or two things. Either he drowned and no one seen him go under, or someone did something to him. Point blank.
Yeah.
That's just straight up and down.
Yeah.
Let's just call a spade a spade. But they gonna do the autopsy and we gonna see. And they got Benjamin Crump, civil right attorney. So, we just gotta see how this thing unfold, guys. All right. So we appreciate you watching. We thank y'all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and sign off on that note.
All right,
Peace,
guys.
love,
Have a
and
blessed
blessings.
day.
All
Be
right.
safe.
Peace.
Peace.